What up? Welcome to the Live Game, episode 142. This is the average man's perspective on football. I'm your co-host, Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
Somebody tell the kids be quiet.
It's probably mine.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us, and I apologize for my children.
They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you. Oldest the day before Thanksgiving. Next up, we got last but never least, Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
That's messing with that one sound effect right there. My bad, Mark. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, we join us on our Facebook group, Delay Game, and we're on Twitter /X at Delay Game 3, and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. We the day before Thanksgiving. We got a lot of games in the next 2 days. I think more than we've had all year.
The night before the Sunday.
Yeah,
another game Friday night too.
Yeah, we got a lot. First ever Black Friday game, which we'll be going over. I think Brian, you hosted tonight.
Yep.
All right. Go ahead, stars off, Brian. You have seen the latest rundown, haven't you, Brian?
I'll see it in a minute. All right, everybody. Again, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. We know that you guys are probably getting ready for the Thanksgiving holiday, so we appreciate y'all spending a little bit of time with us while y'all are hopefully cooking and getting ready for tomorrow. So as we do every week, we're going to start off with the news of the week. The first story that we have is with Marcus. Take it away, Marcus.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson says, F your fantasy football. Justin Jefferson missed the past 6 games with a hamstring injury and has consistently said he wouldn't return at 80 or 90%. The star wideout reiterated Tuesday on social media that no amount of pressure will get him back until he's physically ready. Jefferson said, my health is way more important than you winning your fantasy games. Doesn't matter how many times y'all flood my DMs talking about me selling your team. I don't care. Jefferson's comments came a day after Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said the wideout is likely questionable heading into Monday night's game against the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I won't be drafting him number one next
year.
No,
but he has a legitimate point. You who cares about your fantasy team? Okay,
I do. If I got money right, I know that I do.
But you don't.
But I have money right, I do.
How much? You got more money than what he's making a year?
That's beside the point. It's more money than me.
F your team,
beside the
point. What's crazy is, in this day and age, the fantasy players can actually reach out to players and be like, "Hey, man, how about you get back on the field?"
That is nuts. That is so crazy.
That's crazy.
But I mean, who's really beating down the door for him to get back on the field now? I mean, they lost their starting quarterback, so
I mean, it's still better than
his numbers are going to be affected.
No. Our last show, you were hyping up this dude.
Yeah, Mr. Josh Dobbs. Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So it should make no difference.
Shouldn't make a difference.
It should make no difference. He's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins, obviously.
It's definitely going to make some difference. I mean, obviously.
No. But he has a different element because he can run. Kirk couldn't run.
Yeah. Right.
So that means the Dobbs numbers should be better, not worse.
No, actually, you're making my point even stronger. That means that Dobbs is going to run more, and that where Kirk would have thrown the ball more, and that run is going to affect Justin Jefferson's numbers.
Thank you, but he shouldn't have to. He shouldn't have to run if Justin Jefferson out there. He should be able to throw it.
I appreciate it.
Sing it, Mark. All right, let's get back to focus. Herman, what news story do you have for us?
All right. Retired quarterback Drew Brees says he'd still be playing if he could throw a football with his right arm, but because of the major shoulder injury he suffered in 2005, that's no longer possible. Brees, 44, made the revelation Tuesday when asked on ESPN's Greeny show if he's gotten any calls from teams trying to lure him out of retirement. He retired from the NFL in 2021. Tuesday, there might have been a feeler or two a year or two after his retirement. He added, "Look, I'll let you in a little fact. I don't throw with my right arm anymore. My right arm doesn't work. So when I throw, in the middle, in the back right now. So wow, that kind of tells you the toll that the NFL took on his body.
Definitely. Hey, Brian, are we on? Can you put us on speaker
No.
so we can tell them kids shut up?
You know we doing a show.
Hold on. Hey, shut up!
Wow.
All right,
Should've
I mean, this
muted
happens
yourself.
when their big sister gets home from college. Everybody acts crazy. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and read my news story for the week. I know Herman had a hard time reading his because of the font, but we'll talk about that later.
Check the font because my font is correct. Actually,
Your font is the only one that is incorrect, sir.
no, my font is correct.
It's not. I'm sorry. It's not the font. It's the color.
Whatever.
3-time first team All-Pro linebacker Shaquille Leonard's time in Indianapolis has come to an end. The Colts waived the 28-year-old former second-round pick on Tuesday, the team announced. With about $6.1 million in base salary for the balance of the season and $6.5 million guaranteed for injury in 2024, it's unlikely a team will claim Leonard and his contract off of waivers. If he clears, which he has already, the linebacker will be a free agent, which he currently is, and hopefully a Dallas Cowboy.
We all know who's
I think
going
I
to
knew.
sign him.
Don't say the Eagles.
They are. They sign everybody.
Don't say the Eagles.
Yeah, we definitely could. Yeah, we definitely could use them.
Yeah, Jerry needs to empty them pockets because the way they was running on us last week, I don't like that.
All right. He had 2 back injuries. He
did. He did. Yeah, they were saying too that his lateral movement, his side to side, wasn't as good, and that they were actually going to just bench him or basically bench him for the season before they decided to waive him.
That just means he'll be cheap.
Yeah. All right, Mark, what's your story?
Final story I have is the Pittsburgh Steelers have fired offensive coordinator Matt Canada.
For the record, I was going to steal that story so that you couldn't do it.
Woo! About time. Coach Mike Tomlin announced Tuesday Pittsburgh is 6-4, but has negative points differential, negative 29, and has been outgained in every game this season. The Steelers ranked 28th in points per game, 16.6, 28th in offense yards per game, 280.1, and 31st in passing yards per game, 170 this season. Running backs coach Eddie Faulkner is expected to take over the offensive coordinator, with quarterback coach Mike Sullivan as the play caller. The Steelers are splitting the offensive game plan in the wake of Canada's firing. So finally, it's been done.
That sounds dysfunctional.
You know
why is your running back coach? Wait, why is your running back coach going to be your offensive coordinator?
Well, because
your quarterback's coach is going to call the plays.
Well, only reason because he's and the quarterback coach and Pickett works together, or they have good communication. So that's why it's kind of like he's the closest one that's can.
He should be the offensive coordinator.
I agree with you. It's crazy.
But maybe because of his focus only with the quarterbacks that he wasn't as familiar with the running game.
True.
Everything's around the quarterback, though.
I mean, to a point, but I don't think he's. Yeah, I don't think he's really focusing on handing off. I think he's kind of more focusing on. I mean, it is a little confusing, but
it is. But
it probably can't be any worse than Matt Canada. So
you stole the word out of my mouth. I was gonna say it was so bad that you were losing the locker room. You had to do something. So I'm more happy that they lost at Cleveland and then they fired him than if they won, that they'd still be going on with this foolishness. So I'm happy with it.
You know who they maybe should hire next year? Who I didn't even know didn't have a job.
Byron Leftwich. Yes.
So didn't he talk to y'all? I thought he had talked to. He was in talk with somebody else.
He reached out to Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh never offered or came up with anything. He reached out to him.
Y'all probably hire him next year.
Yeah,
I hope
probably
so.
will.
Surprised.
I hope so.
So y'all think that Byron Leftwich was that good?
I mean, you can't
He
be
almost
Matt
got that
Canada.
coaching job. Didn't he turn down the job that
He did.
Didn't he get offered and he turned it down?
He did. He
Yeah.
got off and turned it down.
You sure?
He can't. He can't be worse than Matt Canada.
Yeah, he
I
can't.
don't know.
And he did coach the
I don't
Super.
know.
He did. Was an OC in
Stop,
Super Bowl
stop,
winning team.
stop.
Hey, look, if Jeff Daniels get jobs, then freaking Byron
That's
Leftwich
a
get jobs.
totally different. Totally
It's
different.
not. He was the OC of a Super Bowl winning team.
He was,
Couple years
but
ago.
he was the OC when Brady wasn't good. So
I mean, you look
He
at
was, he was
look
OC
at Phillies.
the whole time.
Brady,
wasn't
y'all know Brady was the OC of that team. Stop it.
Okay, look at Philly's offensive and defense coordinator. They ain't did it for a long time, and they got offered the coach's job. So
Yeah, but look how their teams are
They
doing.
got head coach job. I mean, Leftwich can be an offensive coordinator.
he? Yeah.
absolutely,
He was
Jeff
doing.
Daniels got
He
head
was
coaching
doing it
job.
before what you call got there, wasn't
before Brady, yeah, he was doing it before Brady got there.
Yes.
he? Yeah.
Like a year.
Stop hating on Brian Leftwich.
I'm just saying.
You a hater.
If Kellen Moore can be offensive coordinator, Brian Leftwich can be offensive coordinator. Okay.
I mean,
Thank you.
then you might as well say that guy up there in Marcus's corner should be a head coach too.
He should be. You talking about Eric?
Cool.
Eric
He'll probably be a head coach soon.
Yeah, he probably will be. He probably will be.
All right, Marcus, let's go to Darian's corner and see what lessons he has to teach us.
What's going on, Delay Game viewers? Welcome to another edition of Darian's Corner, man. And this week we're going to be going over this game-winning touchdown from the Packers-Chargers game on Sunday. It's going to be a pretty good example of how one player can blow a coverage and lose the game for their team in one play, literally. So getting into the offensive side of things first, the Packers are going to be out in this 3-by-2 empty set. You're actually going to get A.J. Dillon down here as your number one. Then you're going to get a true wide receiver as your number two. Then you're going to get your tight end split from the line is going to be your number 3 to the 3 side. Then you're going to have your 2 extra wide receivers here. And then you're going to have Jordan Love in the backfield by himself in the empty. So what you're going to get from the 2 wide receiver side is going to be a slant and fade combo to the back of the end zone here. On the 3 wide receiver side, what you're going to get is a deep over or post route to the middle of the field. Then you're going to get a variation of smash where you get this curl route, and then rather than a corner, you're going to get a fade route again where he breaks looking inside over this shoulder instead of breaking like outside toward the pylon on a corner route. So getting into the defensive set a little bit here, what you're going to get is pretty basic. It's going to be a cover one robber variant from the Chargers. So what actually ends up happening here is Kenneth Walker, their middle linebacker, he ends up not knowing his assignment and blowing the coverage. So if we can zoom it forward a little bit, you'll see he actually gets over the ball late. They're telling him, hey, you need to get over. This is Derwin James here, grabbing him at the back of his jersey, telling him, hey, you need to get over here. So right before the ball snap, we'll get into how their defense actually broke down a little bit. So what you're going to get is locked out corner here, locked out on number 2 here. You're going to get this safety locked out on this tight end, number 3. Then what you're going to get is this linebacker is responsible for redirecting the tight end, and then he's going to sit in this middle zone here. Once Kenneth Walker gets over, he actually would have been responsible for guarding A.J. Dillon, because how man defenses work in the NFL, they'll match personnel. So typically what goes on is the linebackers will travel with the running backs in this case. Like you have a running back here, like out of his normal position, he's in a number 1 spot. So this linebacker is going to have to actually come out of his normal position to match him at that number 1 spot or the corner. Then you're going to have this safety who's actually responsible for guarding this number 2 wide receiver here. And this X is where the issue lies. Then you're going to have your robbing safety up high. It's a cover 1 variant, but he's actually going to be playing very hard, looking for anything coming across the middle. But we'll see at the end of the play that there's not really a middle threat here. He just kind of ends up sitting in the no man's land and guarding grass. So if we can get this cleared out for you guys in a second, show you guys how this play ended up coming out here. So right there, you'll see where Kenneth Walker runs into this DB. And his man is coming back across the middle for this slant route. And then you can see he has a clear path towards the end zone. Now the safety does get his eyes over here, but as you can see, he's fading here towards the 3-man side of the field, because his real responsibility is to take anything that would have been coming across hard or anything crossing over deep in the middle of the field. So what that leaves basically is a 2-over-2 here to this boundary side of the field, and that's why Kenneth Walker ended up messing up his man and giving up this touchdown, because he just isn't able to recover. And then this safety here is just not in position to get back over the top to help that, but that's not really his responsibility. So there's not really any blame to put on this safety. And then this corner here, I mean, he was trying to get in phase with his man, but at the same time, you can't do nothing if your linebacker is just going to run into you. So just run that back and show you guys one more time how that played out. So you got Derwin James yelling at him, telling him to get over to his man. See, he should be here. He should be hard to the inside and trying to get on this slant hit, but he's just late. He's running into his man. He tried to go over the top. And then again to the boundary side, everything was pretty much guarded well, but there was no reason for Jordan Love to even look to that side, because once you see that, I mean, that's an instant throw. But again, you had your curl route, you had your fade route, and you had your post route. All three are pretty much capped. You have your middle read here, who is underneath, and then if he didn't have this fade route, this slant would have been open because he wasn't really squeezing well. But like we said, this DB didn't have any chance of recovering over the top, so there's pretty much no chance that Jordan Love was not going to throw this pass. It's also a very good catch and a very good adjustment here. He gets 2 feet down, goes up, high points the football. Something I try to tell my wide receivers at Broadway, but you know, high school kids don't listen. So let's take a look at this back angle here. Again, you can see, I mean, you see this stance here. He doesn't know what he's doing. Derwin James has to take him, get over here, and Jordan Love's eyes immediately go there. It's actually a really good throw. He puts that ball right on the rope over the top of the DB's head. It's actually one example of Jordan Love's arm strength as well. His one thing he was scouted for coming out a couple years ago was that he had a pretty comparable arm to, say, like a Josh Allen or a Pat Mahomes or whatever nowadays. So just one pretty good example. And then one more thing, shout out my boy Sheed over here, you know, guarding on that left tackle on that game winning, you know, turning them out, get him out of there. So Jordan Love got a clean pocket, you know. Shout out to Maryland boys. But hey, it's another episode of Delayed Game, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to Darian's Corner, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see y'all again next week.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you.
Awesome as always. Awesome as always.
Good breakdown. Good breakdown.
And I like the way he was right how the receiver went, and he Love threw that ball enough for him to high point it and get it, and still have enough, you know, field to land inside the end zone without, you know, overthrowing them and making them step out of bounds or anything. That was a real good play.
It's crazy when you break down these plays and you look at all these plays, because a lot of times it's a mistake. Like, it's probably like 60% of the time, there's probably a mistake made on one side or the other that depends on how that play comes out. And probably the other 40%, maybe it's just one team more talented than the other, and we just beat you, you know, with the talent or whatever. But it's amazing sometimes when you look at that stuff.
Well, it's a chess game. To make them make a mistake, get somebody out of position and make a mistake.
And it all fell on that linebacker not knowing what he was supposed to do, not knowing his assignment.
Exactly. It all came down to that linebacker who blew it. He blew his assignment.
Yeah. All right. Again, that was awesome, Darian. Very good job. All right, so let's get back into the show. Now we're going to do a hot topic. And our hot topic for this week is... No, it's not that. With all the starting quarterbacks being injured, which backup quarterback do you think can get their respective teams to the playoffs? Like either Cleveland or the Vikings or the Rams or Seattle, although the Rams do have their starting quarterback
You got
playing.
the Bengals, you got the Jets.
Yeah, you got the Bengals, you got the Jets. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that went down there. Is there any one team that you think has the ability to bring their team to the playoffs? We'll start with Mark.
Yeah, there's one particular team stands out to me, and this team is because they have an outstanding defense. They got one of the top pass rushers in the league who may be pushing to be MVP, and that's the Cleveland Browns. The quarterback, Darian Thompson Robinson, actually played well enough against Pittsburgh where he didn't turn the ball over. You get that type of play out of the quarterback each and every game, and you got an outstanding defense, you can take this team. You go far with this team. So I think Cleveland would be my choice. Looking at their schedule is they've got the Denver Broncos, the LA Rams, Jacksonville, Chicago Bears, Houston, the Jets, and then Cincinnati. They can make a shot to still make the playoffs with their backup quarterback. So my choice will be the Cleveland Browns with that defense.
Marcus, who do you think?
Well, Mark just stole my thunder, but I'm also going to say the Cleveland Browns for all the reasons he said. That defense is excellent. It's doing a whole lot to keep them in the games. I feel like that's the reason why they have the record that they have. And to be honest, Deshaun Watson, he had a couple of good games, but he didn't have a game this season like he had when he was with the Texans. And he wasn't doing all that much. Like I said, I believe the reason why they already are is because of defense. So I feel like you can throw a backup quarterback in there and be able to still win. All he has to do is not turn the ball over, not mess up, just be a game manager, and let the defense do the rest. And like Mark just laid out the schedule, looking at the schedule, I believe those are all winnable games. The only one,
maybe two, maybe a little tough.
I mean, they're winnable.
The first three that you named are tough games. I think the first three or four.
They're winnable though. They're winnable. I'm not gonna say that they would come in here. That's a definite loss. I mean, we've seen that this season. It does,
Anything's winnable.
Yeah. So I believe just like Mark that it's the Browns.
Herman, do you agree with them?
He better say the
Not
Vikings.
at all.
He better
Not
say
at
the
all. I am going to say the Vikings, and I'm going to tell you why. But I'm going to
Josh Down.
The AFC North is a tough division. First of all, Mark, you still got that schedule up. What's the next three? What's their next three
Who
games?
they got except for
Cleveland?
Cincinnati is done.
Yeah, for Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Hold on, I'll tell you a second. They have I said Denver Broncos.
Denver's
LA
defense is playing great. Rams are going to be rejuvenated because they're getting Stafford back.
Still winning.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
And we know the Jaguars are playing good football.
Chicago Bears.
Okay, that's a win.
Yeah,
That's an easy win. Any more divisional games?
No, one more Cincinnati at the end.
Okay,
That's definitely winnable.
But their schedule's hard now.
Houston will be a tough out.
Houston might be tough.
Yeah, Houston will be tough too. I'm gonna go with the Vikings. This one I'm gonna tell you, and this is why. Listen to the Vikings' upcoming schedule. They got Chicago on Monday. Okay. They got the Raiders. Raiders are playing a little bit better. They got Cincinnati. They got Detroit, Green Bay, and Detroit. They really have two tough games. And they got Detroit twice. And those are games where they can catch up in the division. They're already in seventh place in the playoff team right now, I believe.
Yeah.
So they're already there. They just have to maintain. So that's why I'm going with Vikings. And of course, because of Josh Dobbs. And Josh Dobbs is a more experienced quarterback too than Cleveland. I mean, even though he's a journeyman, he's one of the most experienced backups that's playing for any team right now. Cleveland did just sign
Joe Flacco.
Did they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
So they signed
You didn't see they was calling it. They said his favorite store is Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
That's what the Ravens were saying.
So I'm going with the Vikings.
You talk about the Broncos. Who'd you say was number 8? You said you saw somebody. Oh, number 7. Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, you guys are good, and I like both of your options except for Herman's. No, just teasing. But I think y'all missed the boat on this one. It's obviously the Saints. The Saints are already in their division, already leading their division right now, and they got the best backup in the league, and Herman knows it.
Who's that? Who's the backup?
Over machine, but I didn't know.
True. But he
talking about Hill? That's what you talking about, Hill?
Carr was that.
Oh,
No, he's talking about crab legs.
I know what
Thank
you're
you.
talking about.
Thank you.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Hill's the best tight end on there right now.
Right.
But I think they got the best defense, and I think as long as he doesn't, like Herman said, throw too many interceptions, I think he can throw them to it and keep them competitive. And again, we already felt like the Saints were the best team in that division, with Carr. So I don't think it's a big drop off between the two. So give me the Saints.
Here's their schedule. They got Minnesota. They got Atlanta.
No, they already played Minnesota. They lost.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're right.
Yeah.
They got Atlanta. They got Detroit. They got Carolina. They got the Giants. They got the Rams. They got Tampa Bay. Then they got Atlanta again.
There's only really one game on there I could see where they may lose.
Detroit.
That's Detroit.
And that's Detroit. The other ones are definitely winnable games.
The divisional games can be tricky though.
They can.
But they did.
Isn't Atlanta on the back of Heineke? They on Heineke.
Yeah.
He's hurt too, right?
Yeah, I think he did get hurt.
Matter.
Yeah.
He wasn't playing good anyway.
Whatever.
They had benched him. Heineke was in. They had benched Ritter.
Yeah, they had bench Ritter for Heineke.
No, I'm saying I thought Heineke was hurt.
I think Heineke did get hurt. I think Ritter had to go back in the game.
Ritter's back in? Oh, in Atlanta.
I think so.
Yeah, Atlanta.
And I don't know why they don't just let them, use this year to learn. Get the bumps and the bruises and just,
this
get it
is
over
his
with.
second year, though. This is his second year.
But still,
Ritter?
he's got to play and learn.
Yes, his second
No,
year.
I don't think this is Ritter's first year. This is his first year
starting.
starting.
Yeah, but it's his second year in the league.
Starting.
Yeah, but you don't learn much sitting on the bench. Them bumps and bruises.
Why would you bench him for Heineke? I mean, and not to
Exactly.
throw Heineke. Why would you?
Because he was playing so badly. That's why he was playing so terrible.
He's basically a rookie. He has to get out there and learn to play the game. I mean,
y'all don't see what's the dude in Carolina? What's his name? Young?
Bryce Young.
Yeah, Young ain't
Bryce
playing
Young.
great.
They let him take his lumps.
Yeah, you just take.
Man.
Yeah, you gotta take your lumps and see what you got.
They ain't had nobody who's ever started, but I don't think they had nobody that's a starter that's behind Young. Who's there?
Behind the picture.
Heineke was a starter for a while, so.
Yeah, but that was just out of default.
He shouldn't have been, but he was.
Right.
Yes, he should have.
When you're a starter for the Commanders, it doesn't really count. Okay.
Right.
I hate you.
I mean, if that's the case, we might as well get Wentz back in the league. He's already in the league.
He
so
is
we
back
might
in
as
the
well
league.
get him
Who's doing
started.
that?
Oh, that's right. The Colts. I think the Colts signed him.
No. The
What's
Rams.
the
Rams.
It's the Rams. Oh, he won't be starting.
Hey, what's his name came back? He ain't gonna be playing.
Yeah. And nobody was on the Colts, huh? Nobody believed in
I looked at that.
little shorts.
Come on, with the Texans and the Jaguars in that division.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not
That's
a
true.
chance.
That's true. All right, that was good. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into these games we talked about last week, and then we'll go ahead and get into the games that are coming up this week, and then we'll get on out of here so we can let y'all finish up with your Thanksgiving preparation. So the first game we're going to talk about was the Thursday night game, the Bengals at the Ravens. The Ravens won 34-20, but it was a costly win. The Ravens lost Mark Andrews for the season with a left fibula injury. The Ravens did dominate, putting up 405 yards on 60 plays. The defense got 5 sacks, and neither team turned over the ball. Joe Burrow sustained a wrist injury also in this game, and he is out for the season. In this particular game, I did pick the Bengals. I did not anticipate Joe Burrow not being in there, but to be honest with you, the way that the game started, I thought that the Ravens were going to win with Burrow or without Burrow. The Ravens played very, very well. Lamar got hurt in that game. It was a rough game for those teams, but I picked the Bengals. I picked that one wrong. Herman, who did you pick?
Yeah, I was along with you, Brian, and I got this one wrong too. You're right. The way the game started out, it didn't look like it was going to matter if Joe Burrow was in or not, because the Ravens were playing good football. But yeah, they did lose their tight end, which is a big deal for them. The one thing I didn't get, like you said, Lamar was banged up. Late in that game, they had him running, and there wasn't scrambles either. Some of these were some quarterback runs, and I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, you're up. Lamar's banged up a little bit, and y'all out here running this dude. Like, I don't get the Ravens sometimes when it comes to Lamar Jackson. I just
You
don't.
play to win the game.
They were winning the game.
They were winning the game. All right.
You actually played to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's a
right.
They was about to lose the war if Lamar had really got hurt.
Exactly. But yeah, I had this one wrong. I expected more from the Bengals because they were looking like they were getting ready to hit that stride where they got hot. But now that's done. Their season's done.
Yeah. I don't see no coming back. Because Burrow was the man. Burrow was the reason that they were that successful.
The reason for the season.
I don't see. They're done.
Marcus, who did you have?
I was on the right side in this one. I picked the Ravens. I just felt like after that loss that Ravens took the week before, that they weren't going to lose again like that. And it just, the Bengals really haven't been the Bengals. It was looking hopeful for them for a while. It seemed like Joe Burrow got back on track. But, I think that injury definitely killed their season. So what I want to ask you guys about is, that I didn't even know this was a thing. They're talking about maybe banning the drop hip tackle.
Yes.
Injured Mark Andrews.
Yeah. It's so crazy.
It's very similar to the collar.
I can see if they were teaching them to do that. That's impossible to do.
I don't know. They say it happens at least once a game.
It does. You see it. You see it a lot.
It happens at least once a game. So they think they might be teaching them that.
I mean, it's very similar to the horse collar. It's just that they're wrapped around the lower, and they just drop their
putting their lower extremities on the person's legs to stop them from running, but it is causing a problem. I mean, that is the same tackle that had knocked out Pollard last year in the playoffs.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy about that tackle, and I think I think somebody is teaching that because that's actually a judo throw.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's actually a judo throw.
A lot of these players do that stuff in the offseason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a judo throw taking down somebody from behind. But my thing is, eventually, I guess if you either better tackle a person from the front, or if you got to tackle from behind, you just better just reach out and just grab an ankle because everything will be banned soon.
Yeah, it'll be flagged soon.
Mark, who did you have?
I took the Ravens also in this game, man. The Burrows injury definitely turned the game on his head, to be honest with you. They had a drive of 82 yards on that scoring drive they did with Joe Mixon, the 4-yard pass. That Cincinnati, you could tell Cincinnati was starting to get their little mojo, their little momentum. Once that happened, the momentum shift all to the Ravens side after that injury. The Ravens scored 14 unanswered points after that, and then that was it. One thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, but Beckham had his first 100-yard receiving game in this game, man. You forgot to go to the
on my
stats.
bench.
You forgot to go over the stats with us on this one, Mr. Brian.
I don't do the stats, Mark. Y'all do the stats.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure you do the stats. Brian never
anyway, kudos
for
Beckham. Kudos for Beckham finally getting his 100-yard receiving. But I took the Ravens on this one, and they won it.
Hey, Brian, which league was that in? You had Beckham on the bench.
Shut up.
Maybe Herman wanted to beat you.
hey, look, I had to just take that one, man. I just knew I had that dub. I'm looking at this game. I'm like, son of a gun. Everybody else, their grandmother tried to play it like it was the Super Bowl for him.
Yeah, I got lucky. That's all it was.
All right, we're going to move on to the next game. The next game was the Cardinals at the Texans. This was a pretty entertaining game. The Cardinals did keep it close, but ultimately lost 16-21 to the Texans. Even though the Texans did amass 419 yards on 67 plays, they also threw 3 interceptions. The Cardinals defense also got 4 sacks in this particular game. Mark, who did you have in this one?
I took the Texans on this one. C.J. Stroud threw the 3 interceptions, but he's still in the MVP camp. He's still doing his thing. They moved the ball up and down the field on them pretty well. But I thought the Texans showed some heart in this particular game, and I chose them. They won it.
Yeah, I was with you, Mark. I also picked the Texans in this particular game. And like you said, man, CJ, you thought that, okay, he hit that rookie wall or something, or they done figured him out now, but he still kept slinging that ball. And still, like I said, they put up 419 yards, so you can't really sneeze at that. Marcus, who you get?
I also picked the Texans. Just didn't have a lot of faith in the Cardinals, even with Kyler Murray back. And just right now, I think the Texans are probably one of the hottest teams in the NFL. Quarterback, like Mark said, C.J. Stroud, he's in the MVP list, and the coach, I always mess up his name, so I'm not gonna say it now, but he's looking like he's doing a real good job. Yeah, DeMarco Ryan. He's like he's doing
Murray.
Yeah, DeMarco Murray.
he's doing a heck of a job. So
that was his name last week.
So I'm rolling with the Texans, and I was right.
Herman, why in the world did you pick the Cardinals?
Yeah, I never would have. Of course, I picked the Texans in this one. C.J. Stroud, he's playing great football. I'm not even going to talk about 3 interceptions he had because nobody else's interceptions count this year anyway. So we got to talk about interceptions this year. I think he threw a little bit too much though. 37 attempts might be a little high for him, being that he's a rookie, but he's handling it down there. And they had a good run game going. Devin Singletary had 22 carries, 112 yards. And you need a good run game to support, a quarterback. So I picked the Texans, and I did get this one right. And the Texans they looking good right now. If they sneak into the playoffs,
and they're fun to watch. They are fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next game we're going to talk about was the Seahawks at the Rams. Stafford returns, and the Rams get back in the win column, narrowly beating the Seahawks 17-15. Excuse me. The stats in this game were actually close. But when I looked at it, the most glaring issue I saw were the Seahawks had 12 penalties, and it cost them 130 yards. That's real tough to make up all that yardage on a good team.
Yeah, that's a touchdown right there.
Yeah. Herman, who did you have?
I had the Rams in this one. These games, it just seems like it doesn't matter what the records are. The Rams always play Seattle hard, and they did get back Stafford. So I picked the Rams, and I was right.
Eric, I'm gonna need you to start writing down your picks. Marcus, who did you have?
I forgot who we picked.
I had the Seahawks. I felt like the Seahawks weren't going to lose 2 in a row, but I was wrong. But this was a tight game. I picked the Seahawks, and I was
Seahawks don't play good on the road either. They're not very good on the road.
Mark, who'd you have?
I took the Seahawks in this one too, man. It like you say, Seahawks just wasn't disciplined, man. Those penalties, 130 yards, that's a lot to give up. It was a sloppy game for them, and it kept the Rams in the game. It kept them going. The big turning point in the game was when Geno Smith got hurt, and then Locke came in, and he was not effective at all. He missed.
That's surprising.
A lot of second half. What's that?
I said that's not surprising.
Yeah. You're right.
So Smith missed a lot of the second half, and the drives just stalled from that point. But they had a chance to win it at the end with the field goal, and he missed it.
Did you see? Because he had some momentum in that last drive when he came back. He was on the sidelines, shaking and dancing and ready to go. So he did come back in the game.
I think they should have just tried to get a little bit closer than that. Is what they should have done. But
yeah,
I think the big thing too in that game was they lost Kenneth Walker too.
Yeah. Although he was running.
The rookie was playing good.
The rookie was running.
Yeah.
He only had 47 yards.
Oh, really? How many receptions?
Yeah. Did he have any receptions? Nah. He didn't register exactly. No. Oh, well, he had 6 receptions for 22 yards. I'm sorry.
But the rookie came in. Chardonnay was running.
Yeah, Chardonnay, they was running.
Yeah, Chardonnay, he only had 47 yards.
All right. Well, I was the smart one. I did pick the Rams in this particular game. It was close, like you guys said. Huh?
You weren't the only smart one.
I didn't
You
say
said
you
I was.
weren't. I didn't say.
You said
I
I
said.
was the smart one.
Well, I was smart. I did pick the right
You
team.
were smart. We.
Okay, I'm sorry. We were smart. Marcus said, "Mark a dummy."
Right.
Got your dummy.
But I did pick the Rams, and it was good. Like Mark said, I mean, they did have a chance to come back in the end. And I mean, these divisional games are hard to pick. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's very true.
All right, we're going to move on to the Josh Dobbs-led Vikings.
You missed it. You skipped the game, sir.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What game did I skip? Oh, the Jaguars. The Titans at the Jaguars. My apologies. My apologies. I scrolled too fast. We really need to talk about this one anyway, though. The Jaguars came back from an ugly loss to the 49ers by beating up on the Titans 34-14. The Jags had a clean game, getting 389 yards on 69 plays, 0 turnovers, held time of possession 36 minutes and 24 seconds to 23 minutes and 34 seconds. The defense got 2 fumble recoveries, 2 sacks, and they held the Titans to only 235 total yards. Marcus, who did you have in this one?
I picked the Jaguars. I expected them to win, but I wasn't expecting them to win like this. I mean, they sure made up for last week against the 49ers. But I'm just most surprised at the Titans, man. I don't know what happened. They were contenders a couple of seasons ago. They just completely fell off. It's time for them to do a reboot. I don't know what's going on with them, but I picked the Jaguars, and I was right.
Yeah, what happened to the Titans is the Titans got old. They had an old quarterback. Now they're trying to start this rookie, Levitz, who is actually an old rookie. The running back is old now. Just doesn't seem like the offensive line is giving him any space, and he has to get going. And you got to give him touches for him to be successful. He's not the type of running back that just breaks them off. Most of the time, he has to beat up the defense, and then he gets his big runs. And they just haven't been able to do that this year. I did pick the Jaguars on this one. I didn't, like I said, I didn't think it was going to be this bad, but it was really kind of sad, and it makes you question, how long the head coach is going to continue to be able to stay the Titans head coach.
Real quick. So speaking of old, I heard a statistic the other day that I think the oldest team in the NFL, I forget which one they said, the average age is like 28, and that's old.
Damn, that's old.
That's old.
That's old.
That's crazy.
Herman, who'd you have?
Yeah, I took the I took the Jags in this one also. I knew that game against San Francisco was kind of I don't want to say a fluke game, but that just wasn't the Jags. San Francisco had to get that game and whatever. But Tennessee they're not playing good, and like Brian said, they're old now. You wonder why didn't they get rid of Henry and try to get some draft stock for him?
I think they did, but I know they put him out there, but I guess they just didn't. They were looking for more than I guess people were trying to give them.
But kind of at this point, anything would have been better than nothing.
Yeah,
it looks like you might want to get him for him at this point, but I don't. For some reason, I don't think Vrabel's job is in jeopardy though. He's always coached them good. I don't think they've ever had a complete team. Like when they had AJ Brown, they wound up trading GM, let him traded him away for picks, whatever. So I just feel like he's never had a complete team, but he's always had them playing well. And right now they just aren't. But I think next year they will bounce back. But I did pick the Jags. This one I did expect the Jags to not to dominate like this, but I didn't think it would be a close game. So I did get it right.
Yeah, they're like second at the last place in the AFC. It's the Patriots and then them.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right, Mark, who'd you have?
I took the Jags, so also, man. But, you guys touched on a lot of the things I was going to say. But the Jags control this game entirely from beginning to end. I do think Vrabel's job may be in jeopardy. The teams are like they don't want to play no more. They just don't want to play. I'm sorry that falls on the head coach, but it was embarrassing for them. I don't see where they go from here, but I took the Jags.
You know, they may be tanking a little bit because remember they did let their safety go to Philadelphia.
That's a chance. They could be tanking.
All right, so now that we're back on track, we did the Seahawks, we did the Vikings. No, we're going to do the Vikings and the Broncos now. The Dobbs phenomenon came to a screeching halt as Russ and the Broncos snatched victory from the Vikings 21-20.
Right.
The Vikings turnovers is what cost them a victory. They actually outran the Vikings 176 yards to 46, and he outgained them in total offense 385 to 295. Herman, who would you have in this game?
Well, Brian, we all had actually the Vikings team. So obviously, all of us were wrong. I think we underestimated Denver. Denver's defense has been playing actually really good since they got blown out in that game against Miami. Was it 70 to whatever? But their defense has really been playing good, and that's the key. Like you said, Brian, the turnovers. You just can't gain turnovers in games when you're turning the ball over like that. Josh Dobbs played admirably. You know, he was 20 for 32, 221 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He's still learning the playbook, so I'm not that worried about him because, again, the Broncos defense definitely came to play, and they've been carrying that team a little bit, you know, since that one blowout. I mean, the Broncos are 5-5 now. They were what, 1-5 at one point, I think.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I think they won like 4 or 5 in a row.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, when you go up against a hot team like that, you know it's going to happen. But yeah, we all picked the Vikings, and we all got this one wrong.
Excuse me, sir. I picked the Broncos. I was just talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, we all picked the Broncos. What are you talking about, Herman? I picked the Vikings. I listened to Herman ramble on, and he convinced me to pick this sorry team. But it was a game, and actually, you know, like I said, if it went for the turnovers, I think the Vikings were actually the better team on Sunday. But that's what happens when you play. I picked the Vikings. Yeah. I picked them wrong. Mark, who did you have?
I took the Broncos too. Is Russell Wilson back? You know, he led him in the fourth quarter. Well, only reason that he led him on the fourth quarter comeback to win this game. It's their 4th straight win. So that's what Wilson was doing before. So that you know, I just asked a question. But of course, the Vikings gave up too many turnover mistakes early in this game that made it, you know, kept Broncos in the game. But I took the Broncos, and I was right.
Forgive him, Lord. He knows not what he does.
I took the Vikings.
All right, Mark, round us out.
Yeah, just like you, Brian. You know, I was swayed by this heathen.
Wow.
to pick the Vikings, and we since they got blown out so bad by Miami, you know, we were sleeping on the Broncos. The defense is pretty doggone great. The statistics.
Remember, we thought the defense coordinator was going to get fired.
Yeah, the statistics are just the statistics are skewed because of that heavy loss to Miami. But other than that, they've been doing pretty doggone well. And they just quietly, you know, let the people talk, let everybody talk, and they've just been quietly winning 4 or 5 in a row. And it looks like they may be getting it together. You know, it just took a while. But yeah, I picked the Vikings. Thank you, Herman, and I was wrong.
You're welcome.
All right, the Monday Nighter featured the last Super Bowl we had, the Eagles versus the Chiefs. Monday night, it was also a close game as the Eagles came back and won 21-17 against the Chiefs. The Chiefs dominated the game with 336 total yards to 238 yards by the Eagles. They outrushed them 168 yards to 114 yards. And the Chiefs defense did come up with 5 sacks and 1 interception. The Chiefs just couldn't catch the ball consistently as Mahomes went 24 of 43. So in this particular game, Marcus, who did you have?
You know, I picked the Chiefs. You know, I've been thinking this whole time that the Chiefs are going to overcome. That's what they do. But this was the 3rd straight game in a row where they didn't score in the second half at all. And they just can't. They can't keep doing this. They have to be able. They have to get together. I don't know if they can. I think the Chiefs' problem is they got a little bit too cocky with their quarterback. They figured, it doesn't matter who the receiver is. We got the greatest quarterback in the league, Patrick Mahomes. He can make up for all that, and it doesn't look like that he can. You do need somebody to be able to catch the ball, and they lead the league in drops, and it's just not looking great. Why last year when DeAndre Hopkins wasn't available, they didn't look into seriously getting him. I don't know why. Maybe they should have went for Odell. It's not sustainable. The Chiefs were my Super Bowl pick. I'm starting to rethink that. The AFC is pretty loaded right now, and it's just I don't know if they can overcome not being able to score the second half. It's just not looking good for them. So I picked the Chiefs, and I was wrong. And I got to give it to the Eagles. The Eagles, it looked like in the first half, it looked like I was going to be right, but the Eagles got together. They just started playing Eagles football, and one thing I like about the first half with the Chiefs defense was they were able to keep them out of situations where they could do the tush push, but that didn't last in the second half. But you gotta give the Eagles their credit. They keep winning ugly, and they keep winning tough, and they just keep winning. But I picked the Chiefs, and I was wrong.
Mark,
I took the Eagles on this one, man. This had a playoffs atmosphere to me. This game was nice. You had one play made and one play mistake. That touchdown pass that should have been to Marquez Valdes-Scantling, he dropped. It was crucial. But they were dropping the ball all game long. Kansas City leads the league in drops, 26.
Yeah, I definitely can believe that.
But and they were leading by halftime, 17-7. So I thought they would capitalize on that. I was shocked. I was surprised. But I took the Eagles on this one, and they won it.
Yeah, I picked the Eagles in this one too, Mark, and you're right. I mean, this really should have been the Chiefs' win, but Mark has brought up some great points of them not being able to score in the second half and putting just too much on Mahomes and having to extend plays and make things happen for these receivers who on other NFL teams would be the second and third receiver or possibly a backup. They have Travis Kelce. That's who they have. They shut Kelce down in this game. And that's the bottom line. He can't really count on anybody else. There's no structure. I don't know. I mean, the Chiefs are actually wasting this defense because this defense is playing phenomenal. And it feels like the offense is wasting it because they didn't decide to get a quality receiver for him else to throw to. I mean, at least one. The receiving score really is terrible. It's terrible.
Garbage. It's garbage.
Yeah. I mean, none of them would be a number one on any other team. I'm questioning if they would be a number two. So,
and also let's not forget about those 2 turnovers in the red zone for Kansas City, which is
and one came from your tight end. So
yeah.
But, like you said, man, it's. I mean, the Eagles keep winning and they keep winning ugly, and you're like, man, they're not this good, but. I don't know what they're 9-1, so they got to be something. I mean, what does Parcells say? You are what your record says you are. So maybe they as suspect as Philadelphia's secondary is, they should have been able to put up mad yards and catches on them. Everybody else does. and that's the other thing too, Marcus, that they did what's Philly's Achilles heel is they went into halftime with the lead. Philly hasn't been known to come back on teams. Normally they get up on you and then coast the second half. So. I'm sorry, Herman. Who would you have, buddy?
Yeah, I had the Chiefs in this one. I mean, I think the Eagles proved that they're the best team in the league right now. I mean, you just can't take away from them. They're winning these games. They're finding ways to win these games, ugly or not. But I think Marcus hit the point. The most important point about the Chiefs is, like you said, they're putting everything on Patrick Mahomes, and they gave him no true receivers or weapons around him. What does this remind y'all of? It reminds you of exactly. It reminds you of the Patriots towards the end and when it stopped really kind of working. You know what I mean? And this is the wrong approach. You have one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Just give him one bona fide one. Then you can the other roll out there and do whatever. But he doesn't even have one real bona fide one. You know, and I'm not going to take away from. I'm going to say Kadarius Toney. He's okay. He's decent enough.
He's
He could
sporadic,
probably
though.
be a 2. He's sporadic because he's trying to be because they're trying to make him a 1. He could probably be a 2 if you get a true 1. You get a true 1 out there. I think Kadarius Toney could do some stuff, and I think Sandlin, the one that dropped I can't ever say his name. I think he could do some stuff too. But there's no 1. They don't have a 1, and they're putting too much on Patrick Mahomes. And like I said,
And Rice is a rookie.
huh? Oh yeah.
He said Rice is the one. Rice is the
Rice is
rookie.
sporadic. Rice is sporadic too.
He's a
But
rookie.
he's a
He
rookie.
shouldn't be
He's
the
supposed to
one.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is their defense has not played this well in so long.
Yes.
And it's
Not the whole
being
time
ruined.
Mahomes has been there.
Since Mahomes
Yeah.
has been there. Since Mahomes has been there.
And it's being ruined. You're ruining it.
Yep.
Unbelievable, because you didn't make one move in the offseason or at the trade deadline. You know,
I'm trying to think of a loss that they had was related to because of the defense didn't do something.
can't think of one.
I can't even.
And this is the thing. You know you could have traded a 1 because it's going to be a late 1. So you ain't giving up that much. You know what I'm saying? A 30, it could be a 32. So really like second. You should have made a move and got a quarterback.
Here's what I do know. In this upcoming draft, and I don't know. So, you guys don't like college football. Send me from Mark. Ohio State, they got a couple of good wide receivers. They got Marvin Harrison Sunday.
Oh, he'll be
I don't know if
long before they draft.
I'm saying I don't know if they're gonna be available, but they need to pick up somebody in this draft. That should be their first pick, is wide receiver.
That's true.
Unless they
Or
go
they should
grab
go
somebody.
out, or they should go out and make it, or they should go out and try to make a trade for a proven already. Give up some draft stock.
Yeah.
And it's like funny. You were questioning them, and we're getting on them now, but they had a similar situation last year, and they did show us that they could do it all the way to the Super Bowl. So
I mean, but they
That's
weren't
true.
dropping passes like that last year. And Kelsey was one
And
year
Kelsey
younger.
Kelsey was having a bigger season last year too.
Yeah.
I don't see how the Chiefs could
you
be.
think it's Taylor? You think it's all Taylor's
strapped.
fault?
No, they lost because Taylor wasn't there. Taylor, stop, forget your concert and go to
No,
Kansas
remember-
City.
Go
Go
to
to
Kansas
the
City
game.
game.
Hey, remember they came back from vacation on his bye week now.
And this week,
Yeah.
Travis was nervous because he had to meet the parents.
But they didn't do it.
Oh, they didn't,
Oh, they
do,
didn't
it.
do it?
Oh,
It didn't
Okay.
happen. No, they got canceled.
okay.
But I'm not lending into that. Travis Kelsey's beat up. He's older, and he's losing. He's starting to lose that step, and his body is getting destroyed. Dude,
Yeah, there's nobody to take pressure off of. At least when Tyreek
Yeah.
Hill was there, there was you could take pressure off of. You couldn't cover both of them.
we wouldn't even be having this conversation if they had just paid Tyreek Hill. You should have just paid him.
Yeah, that is very true. That is very true.
You should have just paid him. And not to bring up crazy, but the thing is, like, when you look at teams in the history of Super Bowls, they have great quarterbacks, but they also have that great receiver or that great running back. Brady's probably the only one who didn't.
I guess my retort to what you're saying is, look what we did last year.
Well,
Who
they
did
were
last year? Oh, they did.
they
But
were
they
only
didn't know.
1 year. They were 1 year removed from Tyreek. Maybe it didn't matter.
And they went to the Super Bowl and won it without him. So they were basically saying we don't need a number one.
Well, they were
We
all
just
this
need
year.
Mahomes. but
Every
it
year,
just
every
looks
season
this
is
year.
different. Every season is
That is
different.
true.
They
That
need to
is
find a wide receiver that can hang on the ball.
And here's the thing: you got a chance to do a great dynasty. You need to get yourself some triplets. You need to get some triplets.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say.
You get a triplet.
You said triplets, just like we had. Like, if you want a dynasty, like I said, Brady got away with it. He's a GOAT. Okay, Mahomes is great, but at the same time, we're seeing now he's going to need a little bit of
He
help.
needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You can't do
believe
it all.
Pacheco.
Somebody got to catch the damn ball.
Pacheco is a legitimate running back. He could be one of the triplets. He's good. He ran hard that game. But you need
but
a
guess what?
wide receiver.
If I'm not scared of your receivers, I can put that safety in the box.
That is true.
All right, how'd you guys do this week?
3 and
I'm
3.
4-2.
3 and 3.
4-1.
You missing
What?
one. You
You're
missing one, Mark.
Mark. We did 6 games, buddy.
I'm sorry, 5-1. 5-1.
No, you're
Okay.
4-2 now because
Yeah, you're
still
4-2
automatically-
now.
5-1.
Count that Broncos. You didn't pick the Broncos.
You're 4-3, sir.
Right, the dang Bronco game is what I lost out on.
What'd you say, Herman?
Huh?
Would you go?
I went 3-3.
3-3. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now we have a chance to do better this week. And like we were talking about earlier, a lot of these games are tomorrow, and then we got one Friday, and then we finally can get a regular schedule. I'm real curious how Red Zone's going to be this week.
It won't be as busy.
Because you know,
Yeah,
like
sure
last week, it only had like 4 games in the second
Oh,
half.
afternoon game, yeah, it was ridiculous.
Yes, I mean,
Real.
And there's nobody on a bye week this week. There's nobody on a bye week, is it?
No.
Everybody's playing this week, right?
Yeah, I think everybody's
Nah.
playing. All right, the first game we got is the 1 o'clock game. Come on. Sorry. We got the 4-6 Packers at the 8-2 Lions. The Lions are giving up 7.5 in this particular game. The predictor does have the Lions winning by 65%. Mark, do you agree, or do you think the Packers are going to pull it out?
I am agreeing on the Lions. Bite them kneecaps. I think they're going to ride the momentum and win this game.
Marcus, who you got? The Vikings?
That's a broom. I'm sweeping,
Oh.
sir. Sweep.
Sweep.
Oh, okay. I'm like, the
I'm taking
Vikings
a
ain't playing, buddy.
I'm taking the Lions. It you know, especially if
Marcus, you
you're-
don't sweep like that, sir.
You don't know how I
Throwing
sweep.
the boat. I thought he was
Yeah.
throwing the boat.
I sweep like this.
He's
How
on
about
the boat.
that?
Like,
What
really?
is this? Whoa. Family show, buddy. Family show.
What's great is especially if you're a Lions fan. When's the last time you had a Thanksgiving game?
I know.
You can
They
actually
had a
root for your team and feel good
meaningful,
about
a meaningful Lions
Yeah,
game.
and they can look forward to it.
it. Forward to.
Yeah, you know, when we used to do the little turkey bowl and stuff, I never was really worried about the Lions game because I already knew who was going to win, and it wasn't going to be the
Right.
Lions. All right, Herman, who you got?
I'm going with the Lions, but you know what? Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if something crazy happens. But I am going to go with the
You
Lions.
think you might be some love magic?
Man, it's a division.
He had his
game.
first
You know you
300-yard game last week, so it might be a
yeah,
trend.
you know you got to throw these divisional records. The records go out the window for a divisional game.
And
That's
Denver's
why-
defense
that's
will
why
be
they-
getting us some points, boy. I mean, Detroit's
That's why
defense.
they
will be getting
scare
us
me.
some points.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I'm jumping on that bandwagon with you guys. I think that this might be the year for the Lions, so I'm going to bite a kneecap as well. All right, let's go
All right,
to
this
the
next
next.
one we ain't got to really talk about. Let's just go ahead. Everybody just say it. What's it
We're
today?
going to go slow. on this.
Cowboys.
We're going to go
Cowboys.
slow.
Cowboys.
Going slow.
Let's go. Let's move on. Let's go.
The 4-7 Washington Commanders at the 7-3 Dallas Cowboys.
That's 4-6 in the doggone rundown, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm predicting. The Cowboys are giving up 10.5 in this game, and out of all the games we're picking, that's the highest percentage.
You ain't got to go. We ain't got to do all that, bro.
Oh, the predictor has the Cowboys at 86% in this particular game. Marcus, who do you got?
Cowboys.
Mark, say
Cowboys.
it. No. Say it the other way.
Cowboys.
No, I want to see you wear that hat. All right, let's not even pick the game. Let's say how bad they're gonna get beat by. Let's put some scores out there. Herman, what's your score of the game?
27-24 Dallas.
You so petty. You so petty. You terrible. I'm also, I'm going to go with the Cowboys, but I'm kind of nervous too with Herman. I think this game might be closer. Again, divisional game, Thanksgiving. If the Cowboys are not up by a couple scores by halftime, watch out. Now, if they're up by a couple scores, I think that Washington will fold because I think they folded last week against the Giants to try to get Ron Rivera fired. So just putting that out there.
You know what's crazy? I never thought I'd say this. I don't want the Cowboys to lose because I don't want to hear Cowboys all week on the sports talk show. Because that's all they're gonna be talking about.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all.
you're right about that.
I'd rather hear about something else. That's all they're gonna be talking about. Oh,
Stop
Dak
watching
did
them
this,
dumb
Dak
shows.
did that, and Dak did this, and
Stop
Dak did
watching
that.
them dumb shows. I mean, save
I
yourself.
can't. That's what I do.
Yeah, I don't know how you can. I refuse.
I can't watch that crap. Yeah, it's just,
I just
it's
don't-
bad.
I just don't want to. I just don't want
The only
Cowboys
one
to
I
lose
could
because
kind of watch is the one with Nick Wright on there, because Nick Wright,
Yeah,
I mean,
a little
he's
bit.
pretty level headed. He says it how it really is. Even
But
Colin
they're-
Cowherd did become garbage now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now that they're admitting that they basically talk about Dallas just for views, it's like, come on, that should be enough right there for you. So,
All right, let's see if we can get some division in this game. Maybe get a lone wolf in this one. The 7-3 49ers are at the 6-4 Seahawks. Did I do that right? The Seahawks are giving up 6.5.
no way.
No.
That's got to be wrong.
Yeah, I think I got that backwards. I'm positive. The Niners are giving up 6.5. Even though they are going to Seattle, the Niners are predicted to win 73%, which is like the second highest besides the Cowboys. We'll start this one off with Herman. Herman, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the 49ers in this one. Divisional game. I don't believe in Seattle. I just don't. They're playing good football, but especially if Walker's out, I feel like that's going to put too much on Geno, and he's going to do some stupid stuff. So give me the 49ers in this one.
What kind of team is he talking about? The what? I can't even read that because it sounds dirty. Don't put that one up, Marcus. We might get kicked off of YouTube.
Wow.
Mark, who you got?
I'm taking the 49ers, man. I don't think Geno's gonna probably last this whole game. So I'm taking the 49ers.
Turn that corner, and I think they got back to to 49er football, and they're actually playing very, very well. Purdy's seeing the game very well, and they're able to protect him. And with Debo back, it makes it real tough. So give me the Niners. Marcus, who you got?
Yeah, I'm also going to take the 49ers. I don't have a lot of faith in Geno and the Seahawks, and I think the 49ers are getting back on track. So I'm going to go ahead and take the 49ers. Brock Purdy had a perfect quarterback.
Yeah, the perfect game. Yeah. Who cares?
The only other 49er quarterback to ever do that is Joe Montana.
Yeah.
In 1989.
All right. Next game we're going to talk about the 7-3 Dolphins at the 4-6 Jets. The Jets are giving up 9.5 in this particular game.
Jesus.
The Dolphins hold the second highest percentage. Like I said, the Cowboys were 86. The Dolphins are 81 by the predictor. This one's going to be pretty easy. I'm going with the Dolphins. Mark, who you got?
Give me the Fins.
Marcus.
I'm also taking the Dolphins. I think they finally benched Zach Wilson. I don't think he's playing.
Yeah, they're starting.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the kid's name now.
Yeah.
Boyd or something like that.
Bowl, yeah.
Tim Boyles.
Tim
Boyles.
Boyle, yeah.
Boyd.
He talked a good game now. He talked a good game, but
Bruh.
we'll see.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Dolphins.
All right, Marcus, get the lone wolf sounder out because Herman's going with the
Dolphins. And bro, I wanna smack Rob Saleh because you sat up there and preached that you was sticking with Zach Wilson and we're not gonna go outside and get a quarterback, blah blah blah. And now you benched this dude for Tim Boyle, whatever his name is.
Tim Boyle.
Bruh,
Well, I mean, in his defense, he benched him last year for Mike White, so it's not like it ain't in his repertoire.
There's no defense. They game 2, you should have been looking for somebody to be ready to start game 4.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But was that really his decision? You really think he has that much power in that?
I mean, he's gonna be the one to pay the price.
Yeah, but do you think they let him make those type of decisions?
Do you really think though that after what they did in the offseason that they just said let's stand pat with
I'm just saying, in your position, you're Robert Saleh. Would you have been up there saying, "Oh yeah, we believe in him" and all that if you had to?
Hell no.
If you had another,
if I had to, I wouldn't be endorsing them like that.
I mean, you got to keep it clean.
Yeah, you got to give the kid some type of confidence. You can't just say, "Oh, I hope he does okay."
No, I would give you the vague. We like the guys we have in house, and we're gonna.
I give you the Belichick response.
Put on the field who we have on the field.
Like
tell everybody to get ready. True. Yeah, I wouldn't give you all the we believe in. I'm not giving you all that.
We believe we win with him.
But he was adamant that he wasn't benching him. He was adamant he wasn't gonna bench him.
Yeah, and now look how stupid.
You're right.
He looks stupid now.
And remember we were talking about before the show, Hard Knocks. That's who was on Hard Knocks.
It was the Jets. You're right. It was. I couldn't remember.
Yep.
So there you go. You look even dumber in my opinion. So yeah, I'm definitely taking the Dolphins. But this game's going to be closer than we think, like all of them are.
Are these all division games?
Yeah.
They are.
Well, the next one's not.
No, the next one isn't. The next one is the only one that isn't. So we got the 8-3 Baltimore Ravens at the 4-6 Chargers. Ravens get up 3.5 in this particular one, even though they are not the home team. It's going to be closer than expected. The predictor had them Ravens only at like 56%. Mark, who do you think is going to win this one?
Give me the Raiders on this one. The Raiders.
They're not playing, sir.
Ravens.
You did say Raiders. You said Raiders first, Mark. Don't try to check. You said Raiders first.
Pick his own games. This dude's making up games.
You did say Raiders, sir.
Sure,
Ravens.
That's what you're saying now, but before you did say Ravens. I mean, you did say Raiders.
He's like, give me Michigan State.
Right, like what?
Oh, who do you got, Marcus?
Well, you already know. By default, I will not be picking Brandon Staley-led Chargers. So by default, go with the Ravens. And even if it wasn't default, I believe in the Ravens, so I'm going with the Ravens. Purple Kool-Aid.
Urban.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the Ravens on this one. The Chargers, it's not even gonna be close. I don't think it's gonna be close.
I don't know, man. Justin Herbert played really good the last couple games.
Yeah, but Kellen Moore finally.
And you can't overcome bad coaching. You can't overcome bad coaching.
Yeah,
exactly. That is true. So and he hasn't really come up against a defense like the Ravens. The Ravens defense,
right? And I'm talking about Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore crumbles under good defenses. That's what he does. Curl Route City, all day.
What you telling me is I need to bench Herbert this week?
Yeah, I would.
There's your fantasy advice for everybody. Bench.
There you go.
All right, I agree with you guys. I'm going with the Ravens as well. Last game we're going to talk about is the 3-8 Bears at the 6-5 Vikings. The Vikings are giving up 3.5 in this game. Predictors also agreeing, wants to go with the Vikings at 62%. Marcus, who do you think is going to win this game?
Marcus, who are you picking this week?
I'm picking Josh Dobbs and the Vikings. It's a home game. The Bears, they're terrible this year. I got to go with the Vikings. No Kirk Cousins on that.
Mark, Josh, who you got?
They played earlier the season. It was 13-19, and they had Kirk Cousins. I'm taking the Vikings.
You went through all that just to pick the Vikings.
I know he said all that. He gave us a dramatic pause and everything, like he did something.
Herman, who you got?
Of course, I'm going with the Vikings in this one. Vikings are at home, and they got Josh Dobbs. Need I say more? I was expecting y'all to pick the Bears.
Marcus.
Bears.
Marcus.
What?
Can I have my music, please?
You lie.
Give me the Chicago Bears on this one, baby. Their quarterback is back, and he was lighting it up last week. And I'm not going to go rooting for no Vikings without no Kirk Cousins. They already ruined me last week. They lost to the Broncos. What are they going to do?
It was a close game. It's a close game.
Right.
They still lost.
And they were on the road. I
I don't care. I don't care. I'm going with the Bears. Give me my dub. I'll be wearing my hat tomorrow to school y'all fools. All right, y'all. This was a really good show. Really good show.
Huh? I said the show's next week, so you might want to wear your hat next week, not tomorrow.
We done lost our fucking Herman. You gonna have to get us out of here.
I don't know how, bro. I'm back. I can start the show. I can't end it.
He's just on the wrong side. Marcus, we thought we was gonna have to do the outro by ourselves.
I hit the wrong button.
All right, so with the holiday season, I know that everybody should have some type of ending to say on this Thanksgiving Eve. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first, I guess.
You know, always go last.
I thought all y'all were frozen at first. I'm like, what the heck?
Nah. I'll go first. You know, I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. I'm very thankful for the blessings that I've had in my life over the last 6 to 12 months. A lot of changes have gone on in my life. So I'm definitely thankful for those. And you know, I'm thankful for y'all, for my family that's not here with me, but y'all, y'all my family away from me. So y'all my brothers, always will be. Doesn't matter how far apart we are, we family. So that's what I'm thankful for.
Is Darian home or no?
No, and this is his first Thanksgiving not home. He didn't come. He's coming for Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go next, Mark?
Yeah, I can. Happy Turkey Day to you all. I'm gonna be thankful for some great food, some of Mom's a potato salad. What I'm not gonna be thankful for, I'm not a cranberry person. I won't be looking forward to cranberry.
Me either.
Just don't eat it. Just
y'all are weird. Y'all are weird. Oh my God, the Wawa Gobbler is like the best sandwich they ever made in life, and it has cranberry sauce on it.
Nah, no cranberry sauce.
Keep that.
What's in the Wawa Gobbler?
It's a turkey stuffing and cranberry sauce, and it's so good. And it's only for a limited time, so you better hurry up and get it.
Yeah, pass.
I'll go next. I'm going to thank everybody again for joining us. I really appreciate you guys, spending your time with us. We do this out of love. We don't make any money. We don't, advertise as much as we should, but we just enjoy talking about football, and it just gives us a way of expressing our opinions on a network. I also want to just wish everyone the happiest of Thanksgivings. Like Herman said, we're all family here. Your guys are a part of our family. And we just wish you the best. Enjoy the games tomorrow. Make sure you eat a lot, get stuffed, unbutton that belt, let that belly hang out. It's all good on Thanksgiving. And we will see you next Wednesday. Marcus.
So what I'm thankful for, I'm just thankful for y'all, thankful for the group. Like you said, we use this to, talk about something we love. And basically it's almost like a guys' night out every Wednesday. Without actually having to leave the house. I'm also thankful for being here this Thanksgiving. If you know, you know. I wasn't here last Thanksgiving. So I'm thankful to be here this Thanksgiving. Thankful for my elderly parents. My parents, especially my mother's been through a lot. But both of them are still kicking, and I'm happy both of them are still here. So I cherish every Thanksgiving that I get to still be with them. And I'm just thankful that I'm still alive and living. And we all turned except for one, the guy at the bottom, we all turned 50 this year. It was good to make it.
I didn't turn 50.
I turned 50 this year.
I said everybody said the one at the bottom.
I said I turned 50 this year.
Okay, he turned 50 this year. So just thankful to hit that milestone. And we hope everyone has a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy football, and if you're playing a Turkey Bowl this year, we all retired a long time ago. Stretch. Take an ice bath afterwards.
And stretch again.
Stretch again. Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, subscribe, especially if you're watching on YouTube. You can catch us in Facebook and our Facebook groups, The Layered Game. We're also on Twitter/X at The Layered Game 3 and on Instagram at the official The Layered Game. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out. Happy Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble.
Happy
Peace. Happy
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.